for joining me once again. I do apologize for yesterday. Yesterday was a bit of a fluke due to the internet problem we had, but I think I should be good now to run the stream. There shouldn't be any problems. With that said, we're gonna try and round the quest up today. Try to finish everything we got to finish. I do believe there shouldn't be much. There shouldn't be much left. So I'm just gonna do what I can. We'll do a bit of quick customizations, then I'll get right on. So just give me a couple minutes. Alright, looks like my network is all good. Connection is all stable. And looks like we're ready to roll.
At last, Amphoreus' fate has begun to shift. Just as I foretold, your arrival will change everything. After all, you've also been bathed in an eon's gaze, which can awaken the long dormant instinct inside a man.
So here's the problem. I'm not exactly sure how much I have to skip, but I'm just going to skip this and see where exactly it takes me. So we're gonna do that, and we're just gonna go from there. Ready, set, go. Okay, it takes us straight to where I want to go. Good.
Synthesis of the prime mover of life formed. This is a moment the universe will remember. After millions of extrapolations, the experimental environment known as Amphoreus has finally achieved results.
So, the results you speak of are this wreckage of a world. We all gave everything we had, returning 12 core flames to recreate the world. And in return, we become nothing more than sacrificial offerings at the end of everything.
Exactly. The Titans are Chrysos heirs of the past, and Chrysos heirs are the Titans of the future. Anaxagoras' theory of Era Nova holds true. As the model of reason, he reached unprecedented heights. But from just the perspective of a player in the drama, he could never fully uncover the last layer of truth. The cycles of the hero's journey that have played out until now were never about creating a new world or perfect heroes and gods. They were a deep learning program made for the Black Tide.
But this time, your plot will fail. I've taken Catholi's core flame, and when the dawn of the new world arrives, its light will burn away all the darkness.
Haven't I made myself clear? The Chrysos heirs and Titans were merely byproducts of the experiment. You've seen this world's evolution, witnessed the birth and growth of the Black Tide, and how it devoured everything. Every generation of heroes, gods, and worlds was born only to be destroyed by it.
Oh yeah, I almost forgot. Happy 4th of July, everybody. Happy 4th of July.
This is the end point of Amphoreus'
Ta- 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 ta-
calculations.
ta- ta- ta-
A perfect equation of destruction.
So in your eyes, all the sacrifices are just a string of insignificant numbers?
Don't sell yourselves short. I'd say, rather than numbers, you're more like fuel for the fire. And without fire, there can be no sunrise tomorrow.
Even if that sunrise is born from annihilation?
Curious question. Have you ever considered that after millions of extrapolations, Amphoreus is already following a different path from the erudition? It has long since granted divine blessings equally to each child. The golden blood flowing in your veins, it comes from the blemished one, whose name is destruction itself. And Amphoreus's Chrysos heirs were, from the very beginning, fuel for the Aeon to burn the universe. Amphoreus has waited for this moment for too long. At the end of the empty, cold, lonely extrapolations, the destruction has reached its final destination. Nikos 496. Philia 093. No need to feel regret. This generation of Chrysos heirs is the most outstanding model, and you two are the final factors. For you, the Era Nova is no lie. Just step forward, embrace the black tide, and accept the Aeon's gaze.
Hold the phone. These guys are literally just code names in code names. Wow. Okay. Damn, that guy is still knowing that you are nothing but just an extrapolation of a programming. That you are not even real. Ah, wow.
You will come to life from a stream of cold numbers. Along with all those who have passed, you will run toward the real universe, fulfilling Amphoreus's long-held wish. In the name of the Lord Ravager Iron Tomb, unleash its fury and destroy the source of all this tragedy.
Or we could always choose another option. Like you said, Amphoreus is just an experiment, and we're the participants. We can only walk along the predetermined path toward the ending, under the watchful eyes of the stars. But that also means that there isn't just one Aeon who can cast their glance at Amphoreus, right?
Nah, this girl is smart. With all this, she managed to just pick that up, and that was the smartest thing she did. She is smart. She is smart. And he's realized that she is smart. For a working android, he forgot about that. That there are other aliens that exist. Well, looks like someone's about to get played in his own game.
Is this question really that hard to answer? Or did I guess it right? And in reality, this world has already been under the watch of other eons.
Exactly.
It's strange when you think about it. If you just stayed back, watching us complete the ritual and get consumed by the black tide, your goal would naturally be achieved. Why go through the trouble of explaining all this to us?
You're pretending. Revealing the so-called truth just to deceive us. Covering up another possibility. Destruction is not the only outcome for the fate of Amphoreus.
Do you two really think, as petty little demigods, you can change the outcome written by the stars?
They can try.
What makes you think you are capable of doing that?
We're about to find out.
A little courage and determination. Just kidding. The answer is pretty simple. But we're not gonna tell ya. We're going to weave a long dream for Amphoreus, making it believe the experiment hasn't ended, that everything is still ongoing.
With just Oryx's power, though, it should be impossible to achieve this, right?
Yeah. So, I can only place my hopes on that childhood dream. And the god behind Oryx that appeared in that dream.
In other words, fully the remembrance.
Now, I can say with certainty, time is the page on which that eon records Amphoreus. If it fades from existence, and all that it records is lost among the stars, that eon will surely direct their gaze here.
In which it did. Through the Trailblazer.
And it will be a glance that spans time and space, granting each incarnation of me the power to reset time, imbuing my soul into this ceremonial blade, and creating an endless flame-chased journey.
Ah, so it was due to her that we now started having the full-ass loop.
I understand. Then let me step into the cycles and continue Amphoreus's grand design. To deceive the gods, deceive the world itself. But to make time vanish from this world, that would mean you.
All right, let's not make things so gloomy. What we're about to embark on is the true hero's journey, so... Come on, cheer up a bit, okay? In that memory, you will definitely meet me again. A little Cyrene who knew nothing, lying on a soft patch of grass, feeling the light breeze, dreaming of the distant world. Tell her about the flame chase journey, and then let her become a romantic part of this story. I believe every Cyrene will make the same choice, erasing time again and again, resetting time over and over. After all, they're all me, and I will always have my charm.
Hmm.
Then, I'll fall into a sweet dream, disappearing in some small corner of the world. Quietly, waiting for the day when that next page is turned.
And I will keep going. Even if the road ahead is dark, I will burn myself to light the way. Rather than let the core flames become nourishment for the Black Tide, I'll become their vessel. To prevent the arrival of Aranova. Even if I have to burn through my own body, it's no matter. As long as I don't extinguish, the flame chase will never end.
I'm going to hold my thoughts until like the end of everything because of I have a lot to get off my chest with this right now, like a lot. But we have to let the story keep going, so I'm just gonna keep going.
Until Amphoreus welcomes a true dawn.
The girl who watches over time, and the warrior who carries the world. Now, let us fulfill the duties of time and world-bearing. Honor the past and forge ahead.
I promise you, the pain will pass in the blink of an eye.
You need to hold tight to this ceremonial blade. After I'm gone, it will take you back to the beginning of time. The start of a new story. I believe that in that story, or in countless stories, each alike yet unique, everyone, all the companions who sacrificed themselves, alongside the deliverer we once dreamed of as children, will reunite beneath a vast, endless sky.
If we can never break free from this prison, I will stand my ground. Until the day someone shatters this endless cycle and writes the final chapter of Amphoreus' fate.
So, let's set out. We will be the ones to start everything. Carry the primordial chaos, just as your name suggests, and bear this world we hold so dear. So long, Caslana.
As the Theros I have observed, instruction and synthesis is forward.
I will wait for that day for as long as it takes. The day will come to remember this immortal eternal and follows in our footprint to write anything than that ever was. That will be a romantic story like none that has come before. You think so too, right?
I got goosebumps. Nah, that was. I, I'm speechless. I'm speak. Let's con. Let's let's continue.
The world is collapsing, and the people are crying. We too must part ways here. Friend. Ides Elysiae, the little village of my childhood. The gentle breeze and the sound of waves still linger. Everything is as it was. It feels good to take one last look. You know, this is just a corner of the memory. The real Ides Elysiae, I know. I'm here to say goodbye. We might not see each other again. You can stay here forever. And time will stand still for you. Let it flow. It's time for me to go. Even if it's a path with no turning back. When have we ever had the luxury of turning back? Are you afraid? After learning the truth of your origins, will you see the motivation I gave you as the manipulating whispers of destruction? The convictions and choices that come from my heart. I don't believe they're designed by the so-called paths. If we are just numbers, simulating life, then you are the image I've always longed for. The person I wish to become. A real, living person. A true hero. Then why do we part here? You can take me with you, and we can start this journey together. I'll be by your side, guiding you, just like before. No. I'm afraid I'm on my own this time. Why? Because there is no perfect solution in this world. Cyrene has already embraced her fate, and I will embrace my origin. Destruction. And with this power, I will rebel against its creator, bringing endless fury to the darkness, sweeping the world. If you stay by my side, I'll hesitate. But this world can't afford a soldier who wavers. Do you remember when we were kids? Everyone would get so excited drawing cards like ruler or warrior, but throw fits over devil or drunkard and demand a reading. Kids always get to change their minds. Things are so happy and simple for them. But when it comes to the fate of adults, there's no room for redos. And go, Kaslana, as you promised. Deceive the world, seize the core flames, and rewrite your fate. Burn yourself up with all your might, wield your futility like a sword, and fight against the gods. In the name of world-bearing, I promise you, Catholic will never forget this. So, time retreated behind me until it reached the origin, where nothing ever existed. Just as Professor in that void, Kefali stood at the center of chaos. Time, space, and causality all flowed from their body. When the waves of time finally calmed, it was the year 3870 of the light calendar. The Chrysos War had lasted for nearly a century, and the threat of the Black Tide was growing stronger and more relentless. That was the era of the Day Thunder Knight's battle with the sky. While she could not seize the core flame, she proved that the prophecy was true. That mortals could slay gods. From that moment, the sole survivor of the old dynasty, Imperator Surrender, issued a call to arms across the lands, summoning heroic Chrysos heirs to wage war on the Titans. And that was the first doomed flame chase journey, sealed away in history.
So what you're saying is, you've traveled back down the River of Time, finally reaching this untouched seabed just to tell us the flame chase journey and even all of Amphoreus are nothing but illusions in an eon's dreams?
Exactly. So, Dux Gladiorum, please take me to meet Her Majesty Suritra. I must share the truth with her.
Since Her Majesty's not here, no need for formalities. The word Gladiorum always reminds me of my fallen homeland buried deep in the depths. Call me High Sealans, Nameless Swordmaster.
Please allow me to add one more thing. You actually already know my name.
You mean Phainon? Such a name could never be your true one.
She pretty. I like her eyes. Are those bubbles on in a dress? Oh, I'm awake. I'm awake. Let's focus.
But I won't question you further about it. Ever since Her Majesty issued the Flame Chase Decree, heroes from all over have sent their letters of introduction. What's the harm in adding one more name like Phainon or Phainon? Besides, the deep sea is dark. Isn't it the perfect place to hide secrets best left unseen? All right, Nameless Swordmaster. Hold on to my wake. Let's find somewhere else to talk.
Aren't you even a little suspicious of what I've said?
Harboring suspicions is not my concern. My sword dances only when the Imperator harbors doubts. There's no use in speaking further. Show me your true intentions through action.
All right. It's Phainon test time, baby. Let's run it.
Perhaps you should demonstrate your skills and calm the raging black tide for us.
That was not supposed to appear there. That was not supposed to appear. No, nobody saw that. And oh, that's gonna be fun. I kind of like, from I've seen clips of his skill and everything. One thing that actually makes him better than Acheron is that even though you end up using more skill points with him, it's all a one and done hit. Like, let's say you got how I put it? You use facial skill. What of facial skill? You gather everybody around, then just switch to him. Two, and you've taken everybody out. With Acheron, you have to slash each of them individually one by one. So the worth of 2 skill points is actually worth it in the end. It's not, it's a sacrifice, but it's worth it. So I'd say it's good. Bye. Where am I going? I'll take that. Hey, and at least it adds extra. So from 5 we get 7. Who's next? Bye.
We just washed it away and here it comes again. The black tide is really no joke.
First, let's deal with the triple threat over here. Will it be a waste? I mean, it's just one of them. Yeah. Bye.
The waters end here. The one you seek is beyond this point.
At last. I can meet with Her Majesty Soridra herself. Are there any formalities I need to observe?
Don't kneel, don't do the hand-kissing or foot-kissing gestures of the old dynasty, and most of all, don't bow. The Imperator despises such rituals, especially when the heads of those taller than her bend beneath her crown.
She really is down to earth.
It's not that. It's not that.
The second thing to note, only trusted ones may come near her. Keep 5 paces distance until the Imperator allows otherwise.
Sounds like an old friend of mine.
Well, experience is a good thing. Stay sharp, and you'll be just fine. Duck's Goldweaver, little hostage. Apologies for keeping you waiting.
It's you.
You know them? Good. That makes things easier.
Before that, I'm more curious about one thing. Where is Her Majesty Soridra?
To avoid any misunderstandings, nameless Swordmaster. Although we spoke and laughed along the way, I never said you were entitled to meet her. The Imperator decreed. The Deliverer will not appear in this age. Be wary of suspicious individuals. Come now, both of you. Let's finish our job.
I see. It's a trap. I had no intention of fighting. So remember this, Lady Hysealant. If my sword shows any hesitation, don't thank me. Thank them instead.
No, you misunderstand. We don't want to see Chrysoceres hurt each other. Just give us some time to ask you a few questions.
The Nestia's golden threads will judge you and decide your fate.
As you wish.
White-haired Swordmaster? If what you say is true, then you must know the fate of the world. So, how much do you know about what we read from the prophecy?
You shall shatter into 1,000 fragments and wither in the soil of foreign lands. Is that correct, Lady Treby?
How is this possible?
He got it right?
Yes, but the prophecy never mentioned he'd appear here. At least, not in this era.
You must listen to me, Aglaya, Treby. The Phainon of this world has not yet been born. In the distant future, he will follow the prophecy's guidance and appear before you. But do not seek him out. Because Era Nova is a complete and utter lie. I will tell you the truth. And you will understand why the world must forsake the prophecy and find another path to Era Nova. Because I know both of you. And I believe that no matter how the course of history may change, the faith we all share will always remain the same. And so, the layers of rock began to reverse, and history wove itself anew. Through my old acquaintances, I was given the chance to meet the leader of the Flame Chase journey, Saridra. And after a long and arduous negotiation, we came to an agreement. The Imperator's alliance needed the destruction, and I was ready to pour all my strength into it. The spoils of the Flame Chase, the core flames, would be sealed by my hand. But the condition was this. In the upcoming battle, in our conquest of the Earth, I had to prove that my power could transcend fate. In the original history, there was a brutal war. At the end, the Titankin of Georios, Terravox, killed the rampaging Titan and took the core flame that supported the Earth. But this time, Amphoreus encountered a turning point in its fate. Neither side suffered any losses. When I severed the Titan's head and raised the core flame high, the crowd gathered around the scorched remains of the god, roaring with joy, cheering for the hero of the destruction, who had ignited the faint spark of life for the first time. Yes, in that flickering light, the once dark path ahead seemed to become clearer. I proved myself, and in the long years that followed, I brought down the other Titans, one by one. I could do more than just wait. When time resets, the chance to change the world also emerges from the lines of history. Until finally, the brutal future revealed by Era Nova is reversed. But tell me, if that's truly the case, why are we doomed to the same outcome?
What do you mean by that?
The people kept their promise and handed you all the core flames. In this world after Trebios, no demigods were born in Amphoreus. At this point, I just want to know. When they vanished into the black tide with their mortal bodies, why didn't you shed even a single tear? Your indifference chills me. To you, were they just a bunch of insignificant footnotes? Sorrow has been my constant companion. In fact, with 12 core flames upon me, the fire in my heart has never been more violent. I'll remember this world through anger. As long as I burn, they'll never truly leave me. Perhaps it's already too late. But you're right. Anger, at this moment, is the only weapon I can rely on. So, draw your sword, Executioner. I'll make sure you realize that your greatest mistake was leaving me alive. After that, he raised his sword and attacked. Then, Gislana killed himself that day. Who fell to the sword to be left in the past, and who went into the future. I can't remember anymore. I only remember a nymph, hiding in the shadows just out of sight, futilely pushing a stone ball. Climb, fall, climb, fall, climb again, and fall. The only freedom the nymph had was in choosing how to roll the stone. Sometimes fast, sometimes slow. Sometimes resting on a gentler slope, leaning against the stone for a break. But its choice couldn't change the futility of it all. The stone would always roll back down the slope, and the nymph would always return to the starting point. Beginning again. After that, every time I reached this point in the cycle, the burning sky would cast a shadow over its path. It would nearly reach the peak at the 4th quint of curtain fall hour, then fall to the starting point in the first 15 seconds of the next entry hour. And my efforts in this cycle would dissolve into nothing at the same time.
Absolute nonsense.
I thought cycles was the answer you were looking for.
No. It's just that the answer came so suddenly. There was no fun in tracing it back to its roots. Eons? Paths? What a load of nonsense.
I can't give you an exact explanation of those two concepts either.
Enough. I'm just expressing my frustration. Don't you understand? I was already expecting this. The black tide came from beyond the sky. And everything else is no exception.
Fate is a strange thing. No matter how the details of history change, the Anaxa I know always remains as harsh as ever.
If the other Anaxagoras actually worshipped the gods, I'd make sure to find a way to break the cycles and crush them in their cradles. Too bad. Now only you have the ability to do that.
What's that supposed to mean? You're willing to help?
Of course. The core flames were meant to save the world. And in my opinion, the noble titans have no reason to refuse. Besides, according to you, before stepping into these endless cycles, you were my pupil.
I've already heard the same thing countless times.
Enough chit-chat. Let's go. If we run into any other scholars, leave them to me. We've all made preparations for total annihilation. Never thought someone would step in to help.
Light up the dawn. Light up the dawn.
Huh. You've been to the luminary throne before, haven't you?
If you're talking about in past cycles.
You're already much luckier than the other students. Hold up. Keep your wits about you. Someone's watching us.
Pretty boy, your eyesight's better than I thought. As for that false god who's been turning the world upside down, it's you, isn't it, white hair?
You sure do love stealing the spotlight. In the name of the Seven Sages, I demand that you immediately step away from the luminary throne. This is the sacred ground of reason, and no one may desecrate it. Take my words back to Aglaya. I won't say the same thing twice, Catgirl.
Oh my! You won't even call me the demigod of trickery. That is just heartbreaking. I have some words for you, too. First, as one of the most heretical blasphemers in the world, you have no right to lecture me. Second, this is none of your business, Grove Boy. Step aside. I don't want anyone getting hurt.
Here we go. Again.
Core flame thieves. You really think you can scare off a sage of the grove with nothing but empty threats?
This gloomy little brat's got a sharp tongue. Ooh, not bad, not bad. I kinda like you. As a return favor, please come search this core flame right here.
That was close. I'm out of here.
They're exactly like all the past ones are cunning. And yet so naive.
Sounds like you have a plan.
Of course. When I first set out on the Flame Chase journey, Lady Treby never managed to teach me Oryx's miracle. But along the way, I learned a thing or two.
Damn, his voice sounds devoid of all life. It sounds devoid of all life and everything. Like, yeah, he's been through countless loops and cycles. So I guess that's enough to take everything out of somebody. Like, wow.
Where are you going?
The Venerationist's foolish inventions finally come in handy.
How is this possible?
You've arrived, Zacharias. Always so punctual.
What? You know who I am?
I'm running out of patience. So I'm not going to waste words. Listen up, Spirit Thief.
Mm.
Hand over the core flame, and let's pretend we never clashed. This way, you and this world can still be saved.
Save? You sing better than any bard. If you ask me, you're the greatest disaster Amphoreus has ever known. No matter how strong you are, you're still just a mortal body. Carrying 12 core flames? Don't make me laugh. You'll just get consumed by the divine flames and drag this world down with you.
134.
What?
This is the 134th cycle I've lived through. And the number of core flames I carry is...
1,596.
Yes.
1,000 core flames and just a single Chrysos hair. How is that even possible?
I've come this far. And that's proof enough.
But someday you will burn to the ground.
Of course. The divine flames will eventually consume my eyes and blind me. But before that, they could still forge and sharpen Dawnmaker. Now when I cut open your stomach, you won't feel a thing.
You...
This is the final warning.
Fine. Fine. Assume this world holds 100 million possibilities. And no matter how one looks at it, 99,999,999 of them all point to outcomes of certain destruction.
Sorry.
Even so, I'll use my divine power, despised by the people of this world, to achieve that 1 in 100 million possibility. Bartolos! If you got the guts, you'll have to first step over my dead body. Shattered thief, run! This little brat is not a threat we can deal with just by ourselves.
Fine.
Give it back.
There's no other choice but to move forward. For the next tomorrow! The new world will arrive!
How absurd.
In my memories, Zagreus always meets the same end. Over and over again. Their departure no longer stirs anything in my heart.
This reason core flame before us is a fake. Obvious as day.
I know. I know. It always plays out like this. The spirit thief covers for her, and the trickery demigod escapes with 2 core flames. And then, driven by defiance or hatred, she decides to stand before me once more, exactly like the countless past hers I've known. Cunning, yet so naive.
Since you've witnessed the same scene play out countless times, tell me, will you carve the trickery core flame from my chest now?
That depends on your attitude. At least so far, in the cycles where you've asked this question, the endings haven't been so cruel.
Well, thank you for that. But I also believe that this time, you won't catch up to me. No one can catch up to me. I'm no longer running to escape anymore.
Whether you believe me or not, I'll still tell you this. You've made the wrong decision.
All right, then. We'll see.
Silence.
This is new.
One-eyed boy. What are you trying to pull now?
Go, Cyphera. Give us some time in private. This isn't for her, but for you. You've walked too far down this
path.
It's time to discuss a possibility. Maybe the road you're walking is not one of salvation, but one that will simply drag the world into the flames. For old time's sake, turn back. I don't care how many times you've tried, because there's one thing I'm sure of. Your Messiah complex has turned you into something no different from the icy gods you spoke of. The children of humanity you swore to save. They are no more than ants to you now, aren't they?
Of course. I've been wondering, what kind of demon could burn my homeland to the ground in an instant without batting an eye? Now I have the answer. It turns out that fiery demon has been fantasizing of becoming this world's deliverer.
I don't want to argue anymore. No matter what I say, the outcome won't change. Make your biggest effort to resist, or accept fate, and hand over the core flame to me. Even if it's futile, we all have the right to choose.
Yes. Even if it is futile, and the world is just a divine joke.
When I walk into the destruction written by the gods, with my own two legs, you will witness. Even the smallest footnote still leaves a mark in this story.
And so, at the end of the 134th cycle, the traveler and the scholar fulfilled their fates once again. Or perhaps it wasn't just they who fulfilled their fates. I can't quite remember all this. In the endless darkness, for no reason, a voice always lingered by my ear. Losses are a constant on the flame chase journey, among which even life itself holds little value. Reduced to ashes. Such a familiar end. It happens in every journey. Always the same.
Damn. So with each recurrence, kept losing a part of himself, and with him losing the part of himself each time, kept losing the part of his mind. And once his mind completely degraded, it just became a walking corpse bound on completing one certain goal that probably he wasn't sure of anymore. This story just keeps on getting deeper and deeper and darker and darker. I don't even know if I want to continue this, but I have to. I have to. A 108,642nd recurrence.
You don't look so good, Deliverer. Even after going through 108,642 cycles. Mighty, your name for me has never changed.
Why do you sound so pleased? It's a derogatory name.
Yeah, I know all too well. You only meant it sincerely in the first cycle. After that one and only time we walked side by side. Every time since. It always ends up like this. Dawnmaker will stab you through your 10th thoracic vertebra. That's your weak spot. And the only way to kill you.
Interesting. Tell me, when the mighty Moses of the past faced you, did they ever retreat?
Never.
Then they died honorably, worthy of the name of strife. But there's still tenderness in your eyes. How pathetic.
I have to remember how this feels. Remember that I was once human. Or else the destruction will completely consume me.
If you win, tell the mighty most of the next life. This person is a worthy opponent. So always remember to give it your all and never slack off.
I'll keep that in mind. As always.
Even though the dynasty is left with just one, the Kremnos festival will continue as usual. I, the king of the Kremnoan Legion, will host the final feast in the center of this arena, and the prize will be the flames of strife. One day, you shall die with a wound in your back. That's what I saw when I overcame the trial. The gods' dying ramblings. Enough. You've probably heard this thousands of times. Stand. Facing the demigod of strife means there's no way you'll take this core flame in peace.
I understand.
Step forward and face me in a final battle. I, the last son of Gorgo, the demigod of strife, salute you. I'll give 10,000 scars and 10,000 lives of mine to fuel the blazing sun of deliverance. Behold! The last Kremnos festival has begun. And will not end till death.
It's time to temper myself. For the next tomorrow!
Conquer this world, or be conquered by me.
As you wish.
That's all I ever wanted.
Quench the flames with the blood. Again, block your path. Deliver. I wish you eternal victory. The 108,642nd core flame of strife fell into the fire. Yet the shadows of the black tide still loom. And pain and despair spread across distant land. The blaze was still not enough. It had to be fed, even if it meant burning this body to ash.
No matter how bright the sun is, there are still places it cannot reach. Moreover, the sun you bear is both cold and blinding. A sun like that surely cannot bring warmth to the nether realm of the next life.
Golden blood is born from the destruction. We have long since lost the right to seek warmth. Only by feeding the flames can we melt that hopeless future.
Allow me to ask, how many core flames do you carry now?
24,041,183.
Such a heavy burden. So that's why you've turned into this. A broken idol. Tragic firewood.
No matter. I will bear this burden as long as you hand over the core flame of death.
I must refuse. As the demigod of death, I cannot watch you walk into a fate more cruel than death.
But this way, the past, present, and future will never again suffer unnecessary death.
Unnecessary death. Indeed. You are not the Phainon I know. Please turn back. Don't let that absurd and unjust fate of yours come to pass. This way, at least my realm can still become the fragrant bed where you fall asleep.
In the end, still, it seems the clash of blades was inevitable.
How painful. I know I am not your match, having fallen under your sword countless times. But even so, please understand that my resolve is not to be underestimated. Even Catholic cannot shape all things at will, nor can they dictate the fate of all life. No one can shoulder the balance of life and death alone, not even a god. And it is precisely for this reason that I chose, at the end of this arduous journey, to overcome the trial and take the authority of death. I am the Hand of Shadow, Casterus, the demigod of death. Listen closely, deliverer from days past. Please turn back. Do not disturb these fresh flowers in their mock death.
Countless lives, countless loops, countless battles. He's gone through every single one of them. I can't go through that. The weight that holds on one man, it's at this point, it's not like you're even immortal. It's not immortality like with Bandu Savage, or any other immortal being you might know of. An endless loop that breaks the mind.
I won't give up.
It's worse than immortality.
path was taken from the dragon's belly. What a brilliant flame. It should shine upon all. Light the path ahead. And illuminate the dawn of Amphoreus that's to come. 2,003,432 cycles. 24,041,184 core flames. As if even the deepest abyss of primordial chaos could be burned away.
How you still alive? How you still able to function? Oh my god.
You're here. As always. You're still lingering. Deep within me. Never fading away. Because you haven't completely abandoned hope. Am I right? You're still waiting for a miracle. For the true hero to come and save us. If that thread of hope exists, it must come from beyond this world. From the true starry sky. But if it's just a traveler with no connection to Amphoreus, they may not understand our struggles, nor be willing to join this fight. Your thoughts are wavering. The mark of destruction is deepening. But even within the gods' cold calculations, unconditional courage and goodwill still emerge. So, never forget what set you on this path. How many times has it been? Remind me again. My memory is a bit fuzzy. 4 million. Exactly. Then that blaze inside of you must be burning hotter than ever. Yes. When I first forged the 12 core flames into one, I had the same impression. The destruction. A power unlike anything before surged within me. Violent flames ready to tear my body apart and consume this world, this wretched prison. I thought that was it. The ultimate power which nothing could surpass. And yet now, this fragile body holds a staggering 48 million core flames. I suppose it won't be long. Perhaps just a fleeting 10,000 years before it's reduced to nothing but charred, crumbling bones. And when that happens, your long struggle will finally come to an end. No. I've already found a way to keep the cycles going. Mind sharing it with me? In every new cycle, a new me is born. All I have to do is push the next Phainon to the end of the world. And then he'll kill me. Shatter this body. Take my flames, my memories, and carry on the path I started.
Bold plan, but risky. What if, one day, the next you refuses to follow the same path? How can you ensure the continuation of the cycles?
If it were Professor Anaxa, or Aglaya in my place, maybe they'd come up with something smarter. Unfortunately, I don't have a backup plan. I have no choice but to bet everything on the next Phainon. And trust that he makes the same choice I did. But even in this wretched prison, luck is still sometimes on my side. Because I never forget what set me on this path. Wait, you mean... Ever since I committed to this plan, not once, in millions of cycles has there ever been an exception.
I can do this, Lord Phainon. As the demigod of the sky, a healer of Twilight Courtyard. I will heal you, and then...
The black tide. It's consuming you. You can't hold out much longer, demigod. Hand over the core flame. Let's put an end to this suffering.
No, that just won't do. A healer should stay composed in front of those suffering from illness. Shouldn't they?
Cynthia.
Person. It's so faint.
My humanity is indeed just a flicker compared to the blazing fire of divinity.
Even so, don't cast it away.
I never have. I have kept everyone's wishes close to my heart. Even though the divine fire burns so fiercely that every time I return to the start, it devours me in an instant. Each cycle, it's your wishes that guide me to the end. Over and over and over again.
So, you're not just a lone spark in the dark. You're a pyre built from the bones of all the selves you've left behind. But what about you? What about your wishes? The wishes of all the countless versions of you. Ah, Lord Kaslana. So that's how it is, without flaw. That is the flaw the golden blood gave you. The most fatal flaw of all, isn't it? The moment you took the world upon your shoulders without hesitation, you lost the chance to ever be yourself.
Now that is an unexpected revelation, then I suppose that makes me the perfect fuel for the flame of deliverance, doesn't it?
No, an empty flame saves no one, but I still believe in you, Deliverer. I, Hyacinthia, the Eye of Twilight, am neither strong enough to command the wind and rain, nor willing to end this absurd struggle by letting the sky fall. The only thing I can do is become one with the sky itself. And then, may the gentle colors of the rainbow paint your sun in shades it has never known. May they bring Amphoreus a rosy-fingered dawn. Though the light is growing dim, its warmth still lingers. river, please. Open your heart to me.
Fill the sky with golden fire.
Hey, thank you for joining me and thanks for the comment. The story so far has been interesting, to say the least. It's, how would I describe this? Seeing one man go through a couple of cycles, millions upon millions of times, it's overwhelming. Yeah, the story has been overwhelming. That's the easiest way to define it. Overwhelming. Alrighty, so next. Let me ask you this: Have you played the game before? Pretty much, yeah. From the way it started out to the way it went. Oh, good. As if you've played it, so you understand what I'm feeling right now. From the way it started out to the way that from. When was the Flame River introduced again? Version 3.2. If I remember correctly. The Flame River was introduced in version 3.2, right? During that version... Oh, yeah, 3.1 or 3.2, you're right about that. From the time he was introduced to everything we've seen about him, there's already been a lot of stuff in the air that him and Phainon are one and the same person. This basically just proves it. Uh-oh. Oh no. No, he's got 1,000,000 lives, so... 1,000 lives. So 10,000 lives, so that's something. So, seeing exactly what led the Flame River to become the Flame River, understanding it on a much more interesting scale makes it all the more wild to say that, to be able to go on a journey like that and still come out intact, that you still have one goal to complete, it's something else. It's overwhelming in that fact. So now, here's the problem. We've seen how it becomes the Flame River. The question is, what will the Trailblazer do, or what we will do exactly to prevent this current Phainon from becoming the new Flame River? If you understand what I mean. Oh, come on. Oh yeah, we're almost done. Back. To be honest, I'm actually interested in how they're going to top it up with this version, because of so far I get that they'll use the MC has like the power to convince me, but it's not going to be that easy. I definitely doubt it's going to be that easy. But still, though, I would like to see what he does exactly.
The core flame rose. The sky fell. The 23,570,000th cycle
Because
came to an end.
you want to know why it's, to me,
The end
it's the most painful thing, because of this man. Basically, because of the option to skip got added, but I tried to roll through the entire story.
the same.
If I see it's getting a bit too much on my part, I will skip it. I've not, throughout playing the entire story quest, I've not actually used the skip button. Apart from once when I started today, I had to pass a certain point that I had yesterday. But apart from that, I haven't actually used the skip button because I've been genuinely enjoying the story so far. It's actually been more interesting than the other versions. So they're kind of listening.
Golden color unlike anything the world had ever seen. So pure it consumed all in its path. This was the end of the world. And the start of the next.
The Liger's part was more like him just basically narrating his storyline. Nothing more, nothing less. What I'm more interested in now is, after this version,
I saw the destruction.
what exactly are they going to top it up with in the next version? Because of with introducing 2 new characters that were involved in the Flame Chase journey and a bunch of other stuff. How are they going to tie it to this story? Since through all the cycles that Phainon has been in, because Lana has been in, to end up becoming the Flame Raver, we weren't involved, but with the Trailblazer being involved now, things are definitely going to change. So once version 3.5 comes out, I'm trying to say that it's either the entirety of time gets reversed, which is why we're now having Hycillus and Ceridra added as new characters, or some way, somehow they continue from this point. I'm actually interested. So what do you think about that?
That being known as Iron Tomb, its will to break free from the black tide burns fiercer than the blazing sun. Is this Amphoreus' wrath? If its choice has already been made, if fate is set,
Yeah, time definitely gets reversed.
never yield to it. Cycles. 282,840,000 core flames.
No, to be able to hold all that in one man's body and go through this many cycles. At this point, this is worse than being an immortal. This is worse than being an immortal being.
No more chasing is needed. And now, I am the fire at the
Oh, and the delayed responses, it's not your fault. I've been having a bunch of connection problems lately, so we're all good.
The flame chase isn't some quiet walk through a sea of flowers. It's a revolution. An all-consuming transformation. And if destruction is the only way, then let me be the one to step across the ashes of the old world and burn endlessly.
Oh my god, boy. Oh, no.
Dawn rises on the distant horizon, bringing the true dawn to Amphoreus.
We have been going for about 1 second. An hour 37 minutes. It's been a very long stream. This has been a very long story. And yeah, I thought it was going to be short. But with all that said, thank you for still sticking around throughout this entire time. Thank you. 337. Thank you. We're gonna make sure we get through this entire story today, so that we can focus on the next thing I will be streaming, which will be the Phainon pools. Yeah, no problem. Thank you for sticking around. So we're going to try to wrap up this entire story today. Then Then the next thing that we'll be streaming is going to be on the pools. You can catch that. Nope, I haven't gotten Phainon yet. The plan is to finish all this, run through a couple more events, stack up a couple more jades, then pull for Phainon.
This is the cycle you're about to enter.
Uh-oh. The mind breaking has started.
Countless memories are flooding in. Countless versions of myself have stood here, facing the same choice.
Oh, is this our Phainon? Not the one that's been going through. Oh, this might be our Phainon. Well, damn, okay.
They all needed a moment, just like you do, to stop, to breathe, to process the weight of 1,000,000 lifetimes worth of sorrow.
That's good to know.
Pain and struggle. And just like them, you will carry those memories and that fire into the chaos of rebirth.
Yeah, I could guess that the hero reading was the original Phainon from the first start of the first cycle. Pretty much. At this point, bro is basically just like a spectator here to watch how the story unfolds, to see which Phainon makes a different choice in the end, if you understand what I mean. So we have to see whether our Phainon will look at it from a different perspective and make a different choice.
I must go and bear this burden.
And of course, he decides not to. Well, I wasn't shocked.
I must say goodbye to you, and then fight the destruction with destruction.
Yes.
That's always the decision you make.
I will burn and fade away. I will become the flame reaver of this life and keep my promise to Cyrene.
Oh, good lord.
I will kill gods and comrades alike and steal the core flames. And even if my mind turns to ash along with my body, I will keep my purpose in mind.
I'll be honest with you. The hero within, you could hear from his voice that I've been through this countless of times, millions of times. And I'm not shocked about their decisions till this day. Nothing shocks me anymore. It's like the hope he had that somebody would do something different has gone. It's basically no longer there.
I will stop Era Nova. I will find the next me and make him carry on this futile endeavor of 30 million lifetimes.
Looks like you're ready.
A man who has given up on hope.
Then I should be going too.
Where are you going? You only exist in my heart. There's nowhere else for you to go.
Do you remember what she said? The dreams you had as children. The deliverer in the prophecies. A real, living, breathing person. You finally found him.
Oh. So, bro, basically realized. So now that the actual deliverer has arrived, it's time for me to go. My journey has ended. Basically, huh? Wow. For a man who has been through 365,558,550 cycles, sticking with each and every one of them, it's actually pretty sad to see him go because of he's seen the pain they've gone through. He's seen the decisions they had to make, each and every one of them, from the first one to this one. But one thing's for sure now is that things are going to change from here. We just have to see what changes.
Friend.
What option did you choose? I think I'm going to go with the bottom one. Thank you. Thank you. I try my best. What option did you choose? I think I'll go with oh, you did the second one. Yeah, I'll do the second one.
I don't have an answer for that, my friend. I'm sorry. I was supposed to send you home. This is my flame chase journey. You were never meant to be a part of it. No. You know the truth. If Iron Tomb is born from Amphoreus' fate, then it will bring ruin to the worlds beyond the sky. And all these countless lifetimes you've spent
will be for nothing.
It's all been for the sake of defying that end, hasn't it? In millions of cycles, I've said goodbye to each and every one of you. Yet nothing ever changes. Each time we speak, our words grow fewer. Your fire burns hotter, and you're getting closer to becoming pure rage. A vessel of hatred. I never had a choice.
Nah.
If you are to keep the worst fate from unfolding, this is the only path.
I get that she thought she might never have had a chance, but if you, well, all the past cycles of you took a while, maybe sat down, talked about it, you could have found another solution, probably another temporary solution until the actual deliverer that your friend saw arrive. One that didn't result in countless life cycles of you. There's always a choice in matters like this. Exactly. There's literally always a choice in matters like this. Even if it was going to be a temporary solution, they would have found a temporary solution. Okay. I'll be right back.
Things are different. Your persistence has shifted the tide. On the horizon, I see it. Faint but undeniable. The shape of dawn, breaking through the eternal night. Turns out, the fire that lights the way was never mine to begin with. Do you remember, in that first timeline, you and Mightymost stood before the scales of justice, locked in a duel? Each of you weighing what you held dearest. What weighed more than the fate of the world?
Nope, I can't argue with that, though.
Took hold, The answer you sought from me. What am I saying? I am you. Even if you buried me deep and chose another path, that fact never changed.
30 million no, it is rough. It is rough. Like, really, really rough. No one can survive going through the same loop over and over again, trying something a bit different, failing, going back to the same way, failing, just basically you climbing on top yourself and on top yourself and on top yourself, only to discover there is no way to solve it until something, just one small factor changes it. In the end, it's time travel. The loop at time travel, it's painful and annoying as hell. That's all I can say about that.
Let's try again. When you stood before the scales in hesitation, the answer you found in your own heart. Do you still remember it?
Yeah, there's only so much you can enjoy.
Remember the past and become the hero of tomorrow. What weighs more than the fate of the world is the resolve to shoulder an immutable past and carry it into the future.
Because of Dan Hang was different from all the regular fights it had, so it was something new, especially with the ability that Imbibitor Nune has.
Good. Then Trailblazer, my friend, my comrade. You arrived in this strange world and were bound by its cruel fate up till this very moment.
What surprised him was that the fact of how he was able to control foreign waters that were not on his own. Because of I remember this, and I remember this very well. When the fight started, the Flame River was like, "What is this power? This is not something I've ever seen before." He actually said that in full sentences and not cracking, because that was literal shock to him. And at that point, it felt like something he might not be even able to handle.
In the face of danger, you never once backed down. Instead, you've saved world after world without hesitation. That boarding pass on your chest is now the mark of a hero. If I choose to step through that door and embrace an end fitting of the destruction, let this sun forged from millions and millions of core flames burn me up along with the god of destruction and their minions. And the world we leave behind, this world, my home, where hope still lingers. everything we've carried. Return to the beginning one last time. Stop the birth of Iron Tomb, save the world we love, and rewrite its doomed fate. Good. In that case, even this fruitless wasteland may finally bloom with flowers.
If you're wondering why I chose the second option, I like to be dramatic. It's fun that way. Keep more drama in your life. You enjoy it.
So,
it is time.
If he takes on the weight of the whole world, he'll be able to walk further down the path of deliverance than a fire that only knows how to burn.
I mean, he already is taking on the weight of an entire stellar in his chest, so the weight of the whole world is nothing. If he can take on the weight of something that can destroy a whole world, what's another weight to add?
To the future. One will remain in the past. If I can strike down the gods with Dawnmaker, perhaps fate's deadlock can be broken. And if
we shall see.
Stop Iron Tomb from ever being born, then these 30 million cycles will have not been in vain. It's time to put our teamwork to the test, partner.
Let's see how this turns out. What option should I choose? 1, 2, or 3? I'm thinking. Let's do. I'll do 2.
Thank you for all you've done already, friend. The image of the hero I've buried deep in my heart finally steps into the light. Here, at the end of this long flame chase journey.
And I don't mention anything at all, but it's nice for the main characters to be able to have their voices back. It's playing Amphoreus from the first part to the last version. Well, no, sorry. From version 3.0 to version 3.2 has been kind of taxing without no voices, and having voices again has been really good so far.
Cyrene, a page never seen before has just been turned.
Exactly, it makes it seem much more. Listen, that you can go through the entire storyline without having to skip it, even if it's story heavy. At least there are voices now, so it makes it more interesting. And with the return of Dan Hang's voice actor too, it's actually going to be much more better and better. I hope most of these voice actors actually start returning to their jobs, because I do get a lot of them have been through a lot. I can't say I understand what they've been through. But I do hope that they start returning, because without them, the stories are boring.
Lend me the power of time, and send this hero back to the origin of time. Back to your side. And I will walk the unfinished path. Just like the countless versions of me before. unwavering as always.
It is time to start a new cycle.
Will you be the blazing sun, even if all of you burns to ash?
Without hesitation, I will bear this world until my body turns to dust.
It is time.
Remember this moment. Remember your friends who never lived to see the world's end. Remember their final wishes, and let the purest rage in your heart rise out of those wishes. Let it consume you, fuel you, until it burns away the false sky above. Fine. If I can defy fate, then in the name of world-bearing, I promise you, Kefali will never forget this.
Let's do it.
Take it. Everything I bear. Keep on burning. As long as we are never extinguished, the flame chase will not end.
It's about that time.
Do not bow your head to them.
Take it, Trailblazer. May this blood be like gold and never tarnish. Farewell, Trailblazer. This is where I fulfill my final destiny.
Yeah. Well, to what you said, it's like you said, it fits in how fighting against himself was Kefali's final trial. I kind of find it interesting that with each cycle, the trials still remain the same. But for the rest of the demigods, all their trials remain the same. So it's kind of interesting. But with this cycle, something different is about to be born. The fact that they showed Nanook's gaze was actually kind of interesting because of if you watched, like, I want to make sure that everybody has actually watched some of the recent cinematic cut trailers that Honkai Star released, with the one where he fought against Nanook and Zephyro. That was epic for no reason. Especially the fact. No, it was just epic for no reason. It was epic for no reason.
It belongs in the hands of someone far more fitting. Someone like you.
It's time for a new deliverer to be born.
Kaslana, the name of one who bears chaos does not belong to a single person. Rather, it is the embodiment of the mythical Kefali, and a symbol of all heroes.
Yeah, I guess what you mean. I guess 3.3 didn't have too many Starlight Cinematics trailers compared to now, because this man has had almost 4 of them, and it's been a wild ride with him.
Foretold. You will bear the blazing sun until the pale dawn breaks. May the name accompany you in my place, in the epic you write with your own hands.
Another attempt, another failure.
Oh, you're about to be in for a big shock, you giant android head.
I won't remind you how many times you've reached the end of history. But I will still place the choice before you.
If you've lost count, let me tell you. This is the 33,550,336th
ending.
A perfect number. How poetic.
Don't spoil this. Don't spoil this. I gotta see why they call it the best part of the entire story.
You know, if the outcome is inevitable, then why not silence your searing rage and embrace your fate with dignity?
I like Scrollum better than you know. You kind of give Scrollum and his people a bad name like this.
Your silence lasts longer than ever, Lord Phainon. Shall I take that to mean the will you've carried across countless cycles is finally starting to fracture?
Nah.
Fracture? No. I'm just disappointed. I've retrieved memories from 30 million past lives, and I remember every conversation before every choice here. And yet, even after all this time, your arguments remain the same. Repetitive. Uninspired. If you had any hope of breaking me, you should have spent those endless cycles refining your rhetoric.
Mm-hmm.
You had infinite chances to sway me into the future you want. And yet here we are. The score:
33,550,336 to 0.
So tell me, Lycurgus, who's the real loser here?
How unfortunate. This was never a fair game. I have all the time and patience in the world. I can wait for you at the end of history another billion times, and another billion after that.
Your voice don't sound like you have all the patience in the world. I feel like you're getting tired and pissed off right now.
But you will never escape this cage. You can claim victory of the spirit if you wish. But we both know the moment that score shifts from 0 to 1, that is the moment I shall sound the paean of Era Nova.
I like the way he said that. It sounds like he's on every pill possible and speaking in octaves. This is an android that has been bugged with repeating countless cycles, and as the one who calls himself the Observer, I believe he's getting tired of observing. Man ain't got the patience to do the Watcher's job, like at all.
Lord Phainon.
Your incompetence disappoints me.
Damn!
But what truly makes me laugh is your utter lack of self-awareness.
God damn!
Think about it. In this story, who is truly the one in chains? Who is the one shackled to mindless vengeance, mistaking courage, the courage to rebel against the gods, for foolishness?
And there it is. The sound of his resolve breaking, and he getting tired of observing.
Perhaps you're right. Maybe I should have tired of this futile struggle long ago. But even so, I will never accept the mercy of your release. Because you are both a prisoner to the gods and to me.
Mm-hmm.
And tell me, what right does a mere prisoner have to speak of fate and choice? What right does a mere prisoner have to look upon my fury?
You know this is pointless. You can't kill me.
Of course not. But I am tired of being measured against a worm the gods keep as a pet. Listen well, creator of destruction. This cry comes from all your abandoned creations. In the 10th cycle, I drove Dawnmaker through the heart of every Titan. Golden blood ran down my fingers, divine fire seared through my nerves, nearly breaking my will. But I endured. In the 10,000th cycle, my former comrades had all become my enemies. The endless slaughter dulled my senses to pain. The painful emptiness almost swallowed me, forcing me to stop fighting. But I endured. In the 100,000th cycle, the destruction had already fused into a blazing sun, surging within this fragile body. My rationality had been burned away at the dawn of the era. Yet even with only this shattered body remaining, I still endured. In the 23,570,000th cycle, this time, I felt it. A tiny spark rising in the hollow cavity of my chest, different from the obsession with deliverance. By its faint glow, once again, no, countless times again, I endured. Now, a sun is about to fall, ready to incinerate this absurd space-time dimension in an instant. That sun is me. All the countless versions of me from the past, along with my countless brethren, dragged into existence against their will, drowning again and again in your golden blood. The very essence of this world's suffering and despair, fused into the purest hatred, the fiercest rage. Nook, you arrogant fool! You think we were born to only serve as fuel for the fire? Fine then! Just as you wish, let the fire burn! If I was born as the blazing sun of destruction, then let you and your lackeys be the flares erupting from my core. And let this rage, burning futilely for 30 million epochs, engulf everything. And grant you a dawn where all stars burn to ash.
It's cinematic thriller time. It's epic cinematic thriller time.
Are you ready, Nanook? I've brought you destruction!
Nah, I gotta stay silent to enjoy this.
The glass that shattered, reaching through the darkness, voices trailing fires, echo of desires, a world of silence, sounds of desperation, phantoms in the shadows, softly tear it down, embrace the detonation, craving our damn creation, breaking a chain of reaching for you.
My wish? My wish is to fulfill everyone else's wishes. If I can't fulfill them,
then send them on to tomorrow. Your heart harbors wrath. You yearn to destroy everything. You bore the gaze of an eon and lived. It is born at the end of every path that the possibility of new paths being born is ended. It burns away all in the cosmos who rule, that the rules of the cosmos be destroyed.
Want to know how?
Is your name, the Lord Ravager, to destroy the erudition.
Let's keep going. Let's keep going.
Born in the experimental grounds of eons, Amphoreus, destined with erudition to burn to cinders. I have prepared a present for you, Nikos 864. It is a wrath called Phainon. From the beginning of the experiment, there were 12 sets of factors incorporated into the calculations. After endless simulations, only this one rose above the rest. After 33,550,336 iterations, now his fury has grown to be without equal. This is a matter of considerable interest to me. This pure hatred is the final root of the equation. But there is another variable, the nameless from beyond the sky, also a pathstrider of destruction. I give thanks for his arrival, allowing Amphoreus to turn once more. But after fate has begun to turn, his existence will only become an unpredictable variable.
That's sure.
Perhaps the time to take the stage has come. Grow in peace until it is time to break free from your cocoon. As for those unwelcome audience members, you need not worry. If you do not mind, I will personally get rid of them for you.
Okay, so what was I? I was about to say this. Through the fact that Iron Tomb was the simulation of Amphoreus ran to create Iron Tomb, I feel one thing that they didn't expect was the fact that a Lord Ravager will come out of another Lord Ravager being created. Each Lord Ravager is meant to take on a certain aeon of a certain path. No one said anything about there being a certain Ravager to take on the path of destruction. Until now. So unknowingly, they basically created a Lord Ravager to destroy the path that the other emanators of destruction follow. How dumb can you be? No, how dumb can you be? Because at this point, you basically created an emanator. Exactly, he can't do much about it because of you created an emanator that's meant to destroy you. By letting your gaze fall upon him and all the cycles he's been through has given him all the power he has. You've created something. Exactly, he's living up to the path to destroy. You've created something that is meant to destroy, but instead of destroying what you wanted to destroy, it's going to destroy you. It comes full circle in the end. All in all, this is why I loved that cinematic trailer. The fact that they played it again, the only other one they did that for was with Castoris. Phainon is actually the second person that they are doing that for. They got to do it for more characters, that's what I'm saying. Apart from that, to be able to even scratch an Aeon, that is, how will I say this, an achievement on its own. To be able to leave the mark on an Aeon, even though it's healed in the end, still leaving a mark on his face is an achievement on its own. And that's the fact that cycles will keep on going after and after, he can keep trying again and again and again until you're dead. So, whether Iron Tomb is born or not, whether Lygos keeps interfering and trying to sway the path, or even whether any other, exactly for a worthy DPS in the game, whether any other Lord Ravager from the Antimatter Legion of Nanook comes, no matter what, Nanook is going to get his in the end. So, question leads to this. if each of the Lord Ravagers tied to a part of an Aeon goes after the Aeons and they succeed, and let's say Phainon succeeds, what's that going to say about the entire universe of Star Rail if all the Aeons are dead? That will be left for another, like, different version, because like that's in version 3.456. We are not going to touch that yet. It's going to be a while till we touch that. Okay, well, I've talked too much. I enjoyed the cinematic cutscene. I'm definitely editing that cutscene out again because I loved that I loved that trailer. That was one of the best trailers I've ever seen from Star Rail. Shall we? Okay then. The book has opened a new page. 99%. Astro Match. I almost forgot about it. Match has entered Amphoreus, and Danang left with with the help of Scrollum. The question is, with him being the only one here now, and well, Match being in here, but we don't know where she is. What variable is she going to play? How is she going to factor into this? Well, for now, it seems like she might have become irrelevant, but she's in Amphoreus right now, which means she has now fully become part of the story. One way or another, she's definitely going to become much more involved in the last part of this version. I mean, it is the truth. She's definitely going to get involved one way or the other. That is a possibility, but she was on the bed, then she woke up and she... Huh, I didn't think about it like that. But, okay, but one thing I can say is for sure is I just can't wait to see how the rest of the story is going to play out, because of now things look like it's actually going to get more interesting. The first few versions might not have looked really interesting. The stories might not have been interesting. It might have been story heavy. A few things might have made it seem like maybe you didn't want to play Star Rail again. But my best advice to those who want to try the game or want to get back into the game, play this version. Yeah, 3.0 3.2 was confusing and story heavy and everything. Play this version. Try playing through everything. Then when you get to this version, you see that things are starting getting more interesting. Then you want to stay. Listen to the community. Yeah, that works. If you take because of, I had an article and I saw a couple of videos saying, yeah. That was the first time the Flame River got introduced. I actually did read an article saying that the Hoyo versus CEO realized that through everything the community said that they weren't really getting too much with Amphoreus. And according to him, he said he really didn't even like it. So with them listening to the community and everything now, it shows that they are listening and they are making the changes where they're supposed to make the changes. Yeah, the book stories are boring, but I'm just running through them to see whatever I have to run through. Well, to be honest, I do read through the stories once in a while, and it got more interesting because I recently did the last one, version 3.3, and due to the fact that the Trailblazer had its voice, it did make it a bit better. But it's still pretty long and everything, but still though. Alrighty. Looks like we still have a bit more. Good then. Let's see what else we got.
Wake up! Wake up! Buddy! Wake up! You're finally awake. That's a relief. We were so close to being swept away by the reverse flow of time. It's lucky we found a safe place.
I will try that.
Now, I'm going to send you back to the very start of time. But before we part, there's something I need to tell you. Something very, very important. That's right! At this very moment, my memories are finally whole. After watching so many fragments, my past is finally coming into focus, little by little. You're smart. You must have a clue now. Or maybe...
You knew the answer long ago, didn't you? Not surprised at all, huh? That's because I'm simple at heart. No matter what form I take, I've always been true to myself. But I'm glad that I remembered in the end. This way, I'll have no regrets.
Regrets?
Don't worry. We're not truly parting. Because I'm going to become a part of you. I'll turn into the memory of this cycle. The 33,550,336th Flame Chase journey. And forever reside in the heart of the Time Demigod. This way, you'll carry all that has come before. Crossing time itself to reach the next cycle. My mission ends here. But looking back, I still feel lucky, after all, across 30 million Sirenes. I was the first, and the only one who got to finally meet you. So, believe me, in the next cycle, there will be another Sirene waiting for you.
Probably, yeah. If that's, well, that means that, well, I guessed it like this. When we got the core flame of time, I kind of guessed that Mem will be the one holding most of the power. Due to the fact that we were far into the world of Amphoreus. So, but since we had Mem would have definitely been the one holding. Mem would have been the one holding most of the power, but now, with her residing, well, like she said, we'll hold more, we should be able to hold the full power now, which should allow us to help make final stacks easier. But what? Anyway, let's keep playing through because I'm trying to think of something and I want to make sure I'm right.
I will always be waiting. Saying all that, I can finally fade away in peace and become part of you. Without even realizing it, we'd already taken a wonderful journey together, all the way to the world's end. Now take my hand, say a brief farewell, and step forward into tomorrow. Go, find the future Cyrene, and set out on another journey with her. Promise me you won't keep me waiting too long, okay? No need to say it out loud. This is enough for me. It's time to go. My dear friend, may your trailblazing journey always be accompanied by a cool breeze and rippling waves.
Hey, yo, did you just steal Phainon's girl?
And may the days ahead embrace you like the softest fluff. Forever warm, forever gentle.
So, it has been confirmed. Ma'am is Cyrene. Cyrene was Phainon's best friend. But now, we are the ones going on the journey with her. Did we just steal Phainon's girl? Yeah, we just stole Phainon's girl. Wow, okay. I didn't see that coming, but hey.
Let's turn to the next page. A page that exists because of you. Is this a meeting ordained by fate? Or a long overdue reunion?
That's a scene from the first trailer of Amphoreus. And I'm done. Finally, I'm done. Oh, good Lord. Calculating everything. That was a total of... That quest was a total of almost 7 to 8 hours. Shorter than most. The last quest was 10 hours. I know, I counted because of I did 6 hours, then I did 4 more hours the next day for the version 3.3.
Nice.
Oh no, we need that trailer team. I need to play that trailer team in the Astral Express. But
Nice.
yeah, last patch was around 10 hours. This patch was 7 to 8 hours from my calculations because of I streamed 3 hours yesterday. I think 4 hours yesterday. And today I streamed 2 hours. So 6 to 7 hours basically. Shorter than all the other patches, but still filled with more stories. And for the first time, I really didn't feel bored playing through all of this entire quest. During the last part, I'll be honest, I was falling asleep halfway through. And because there was no skip button, I didn't have a choice but to try to listen to everything. But with this one, even with the introduction of the skip button, I didn't skip anything, which shows that I was really interested in what they were saying. But I digress. All in all, so to sum it up, Phainon trial was basically about facing his past, reliving all the cycles, and deciding whether he wants to continue on the path that the Flame River has continued. By taking on the Flame River's path, he has to find a way to break the entire cycle, which is where the Trailblazer came in. I love the way that they told that story of version 3.2 to now, that Phainon and the Flame River were connected in some way. Everybody had seen it, especially in version 3.3. They kind of noticed it when Phainon finally got Dawnbringer. Then they now pieced it together with the Flame River sword. Then seeing Phainon's trailer kind of pieced everything together that, yeah, no, these two are the same people. Seeing the entire cycles he played through was a journey on its own for a video game. Those entire cycles could make an entire catalog for continuous chapters, for continuous versions. Nah, no. Reliving countless cycles will do that to him, man. Nobody is strong enough to be able to hold that many core flames, live through that many cycles, and still live to tell the tale. No one's mind can remain that intact. No one has that strong a mind. Even those who claim to have that strong a mind and will, eventually it will well down on them. 'Cause 33 million cycles. Nah, eventually you are going to be worn out. That's for sure. With intro and also to finalize, great story, great opening. The fight scenes were good because I finally got to try Phainon, and it definitely pushes my perspective on saying yes, I will draw for him. And the fact that I have Sunday, Sparkle, and Triby saves me Stellar Jades. I'm so thankful for that. It saves me Stellar Jades, so I can basically focus all the Jades and tickets I have into pulling for Phainon and the Light Cone. So I'm happy for that. The introduction of Sayonine was was really interesting to see the life they lived. To be able to see everything that Phainon went through from each cycle was actually enlightening. Especially enlightening. And now we're about to start a new cycle. And this new cycle will be the last because of things are about to get more interesting from here on out.
Nice.
With that said, story. The story was just that good. And you're trying to get E6? How about the fates? You're not drawing on the fate banners? Because as much as I want Phainon, I know I can't get an E6 Phainon. Because I ain't got that much cash on me. I ain't got that much time on me. I just don't think I got that much. So I'm going to search for what I can get as long as I get one. And if I'm lucky enough to get E2 by pulling, I'll take it. Because of E6, the amount of money man has to spend, nah, I'm good. So with that said, I'll give this story a 9 out of 10 because of cinematics, to the storyline, to reliving everything was actually good. It made all the other versions worthwhile. Waiting for this actually made all the other versions worthwhile. Damn, you must be lucky. You must have a ton of luck. Wow. Share some of that luck with me. With that said, oh, okay. Book. Righty. Let's try one. Who's my best partner? Okay, hold on. How did I spell this? This is a lowercase b. Let's try this. Lowercase. Nope. No. Oh, that worked. So which one did I just unlock? Oh, so it basically unlocks everything else, huh? Wow. Thank you for that. I'll take my time to go through all of this later. Because of that's good. At least we know there's some cheats in here that work. I'll definitely take my time to go through all of this later. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for that. So, let's see. Okay. I still have to do that later. I'll take my time to go through all of this later. So, with that all said, I just like to say a couple more things. I will be streaming the Trailblaze Continuance Quest. Grows events quest because of who doesn't love Fate characters? I'll be streaming that in a couple of days after it comes out. And I definitely will be putting for Phainon. That will be on the stream and that will be released on a video later to YouTube. The Fate stream will be on my Twitch page, Game Raiders 100, Gaming King 100. If you want to check out the Twitch, you can check it out. My Twitch page, my Instagram, my TikTok, and my Twitter handles are all in my bio on YouTube. You can check that out. Check out all the videos I have on there. Leave a like, leave a comment, share, let everybody know that I'm out there and I'm waiting. So once the countdown is done, I will definitely be streaming that, and I'll be streaming the pool for Saber. I will make sure to try to get, since Archer is free, I'm good on that. The only thing I have to work for is to get the lights going, and definitely I feel like I will be working on that. Apart from that, before the after a couple more farming sequences, thank you. You can find my Twitch and the URL to my Twitch page on my YouTube bio. It's all linked in there. All the links are on there. So check them out. Leave a like, leave a follow. I really appreciate it. I will be putting for Phainon after I get a couple more things that I need. I mean, oh God, I got 18 more days left. Okay, I got to run through this as fast as I can. Gotcha. Apart from that, I also forgot to mention, I love the fact of that they introduced the new enhancements. I do have the Jingly U. I do not have any of this, so I'll be working on the build for half of the new enhancements. Apart from that, everything else has been good, so I will be streaming a broadcast about my Phainon pools. You can find that on my Twitch page, and videos of how the pools went to be uploaded to my YouTube and my TikTok channels at a later point in time. Videos about this entire stream will also be uploaded to my TikTok pages and also for YouTube for all those who weren't able to join the stream. I have a lot to do. I have a lot to work on. But with all that said, thank you all for joining me. I really do appreciate you sticking with me. Is the bed couch that hard? Is a bit still? Well, I'm not really streaming on that. I'll just play that. I'm just going to play that for the Jades. We can never have too many Stellar Jades. That's for sure. Damn, okay, that's one way to put it. Toddlers on iPads. Okay, alright. With all that said, thank you all for joining me. Thank you for the chats. Thank you for the likes, the laughs. Thank you for the leaks on the cheats and everything. Thank you all. Thank you all. Keep on going. Keep on enjoying your quest. Keep playing. Keep enjoying. Make sure to catch me and the next stream on my Twitch page. Make sure to catch my brother who will be streaming the next half of. Yeah. See ya. Thank you. Make sure to catch my brother who will be streaming the next half of the Woowa live stream. Woowa version. What?
No. I totally forgot.
Anyway, my brother will be streaming. Make sure to catch the stream next time. My brother will be streaming live on YouTube the second half of the new version of Wuthering Waves. And apart from that, we'll also be running a pool for Zenless Zone Zero. Built to Michael making a promise after a certain thing happened when we're pulling for Yishwan. We have to pull for Jufufu because of Michael made a promise and he has to keep that promise. There'll be more videos to come. Thank you for joining, and I'll see you next time. Keep on raiding and have a wonderful 4th of July. Okay, I am done. Bye.